Hey guys, what is going on? Season 20, Season of Defiance is upon us, and with that, a new exotic mission. But this one is kind of a secret to get to. It doesn't really show you where it's at like the other missions. So what you want to do is you want to go to the Gulch here, and you're going to want to locate these 6 different nodes that look like this here. And what you want to do is you want to collect each node. When you do that, there will be a 30-second timer. You can see it on the left side of your screen. It's kind of putting together like an access code. And you want to capture all 6 of them. So for that, just follow the pathing that I take on screen here to locate all 6 of them. For this, you will unlock an exotic that has 3 separate catalysts. It's very similar to the Revision 0. Now with this, I did it solo, so this is going to be a guide for solo players that want to do it solo, because it's not the easiest mission, I'm going to be honest, and it is a pretty long mission too. So I did want to make a video kind of breaking down a good way to kind of do it solo. And so here you'll get number 5, and then finally number 6 will be over here by the sign. Now, once you have collected all 6 of these nodes and you have the full access code, that timer will stop counting down. And up there you see that little Vex thing in the sky. You want to go ahead and head over that direction. And then you want to head over into this cave over here. So, yep, just showing that it's right above.
Are you receiving me, Guardian? This is Mithrax.
And once you do this portion of it,
Vexcalibur.
you actually unlock the exotic mission on the map. So you can access it from the actual destinations tab once you do this. So you'll get here, you'll drop down, and there. You have uncovered the secret entrance for the exotic mission. Which of these little harpy here. So again, you can access it from the destinations tab or just go there. So I'm going to leave a lot of this in. When I first did this mission, I got a little confused as to where to go exactly. There's not really any waypoints or anything. So I'm going to leave it all in just for people who are confused on where to go. But then as far as the encounters, I'm going to explain what to do for the encounter and how I was able to get through it, because there was a few tricks. It was a trial and error. I had died a few times, but through trial and error, I kind of learned some pretty easy cheeses to get through it.
Comes from the radial area flowing around us, truly through the entire Vex network itself. It is not a voice, only minute fluctuations in the radial area microlattice. If it speaks again, I will attempt to translate.
So you want to continue, you want to jump down here, take in the breathtaking sights that is whatever the hell this place is. Ah, so pretty. And you're at your first encounter. So this mission is split up between 3, I'm going to say 3 main parts with a bunch of running around in the middle of it. And 2 boss fights. And it's a long mission. So for this first encounter, I would recommend using Void weapons, because there's going to be a lot of Minotaurs with Void shields, as you can see here. I am using the Funnel Web, a Wither Horde, and then the Commemoration, which I would recommend using those weapons as well. I feel like your Funnel Web for sure, you can't go wrong. But to do this encounter, I'm going to freeze frame here in a second, but you see those symbols on the right side, right over here? Those 3 symbols are a code that you have to input 3 times to get to the next section. So you'll shoot diamond, square, square on the thing. On the, we'll call it the conflux there. And see, now we'll shoot square. And then we'll shoot square 1 more time to complete that sequence. The next time it'll go up to 4, and then 5, and then you can move to the next room. In this room, I want to stress making sure to take care of those hobgoblins, those snipers. They are run killers, for sure. They do a lot of damage. And then prioritize killing the ads. The ads will never stop spawning. They will always continue to spawn. But keep killing the ads. Keep clearing out the room. Don't let them overwhelm you. And I always kind of hide behind this left wall here. That's kind of like my save point. So after you've completed the first sequence, I believe the next one's up here to the left. Oh no, I skipped that one. Okay, so there's the one on the right. So I skipped the one. Sorry, I edited this last night, now I'm doing the audio for it. So you'll clear all 3 of those different sequences, and again, hug this wall. This wall is safety. You can't get shot by either hobgoblin by staying behind that wall. And then now, what you want to do is you want to make your way through the next room. Again, tons of minotaurs, tons of ads. So take it slow. Just slowly work your way through it. You don't need to rush. That is if you're doing it solo. You don't need to rush. If you got a fire team, have at it. But yeah. So you're going to keep moving your way. And then there's going to be 2 Cyclopses in this room. Again, prioritize the bigger enemies over the smaller ones. And just continue slowly making your way through the room. Slow and steady really wins the race in this mission. So if you're having trouble, you might be moving too quick. And then for the actual encounter itself, just kind of find your alive spots, your cheese spots. Maybe instead of Strand, maybe try to use something like Devour or Well of Radiance. I am using a Warlock here with Strand, but I do switch to Devour in a minute with the Void build. So for this one, it's the same thing. You're shooting those different symbols. The patterns are going to be to the right, and I just hug this wall here. There's kind of a thing where all the enemies will go up to the side of this, like the edge of that, and see, you can see that Minotaur up there, and they won't actually come down towards you. So against this wall is a nice safe spot. You will have your occasional goblin like that running up, but nothing too damaging or threatening. And so you'll continue doing that. And see how many ads are up there. Like, that's why it's just don't run around. You just hug that wall, you'll be fine. And then so you will unlock the next area, and again, it's just all about slowly clearing enemies, making your way up. Make sure you take out those hobgoblins. Again, those are run killers. Don't be afraid to use your super. There are different spots for rally banners here. And then eventually, you'll get up here, and there will be 2 yellow bar wyverns that you're going to want to kill. And once you kill both of them, you have completed the first encounter. And again, I'm going to leave the in-between bits in the video for those of you that don't know where to go. Some of these paths are pretty self-explanatory, but just in case, I'm going to leave it in. Now, I will say, out of all the encounters, I had the most difficult with the first one, actually, which is kind of shocking, because I think the second encounter is probably more difficult to do solo. Maybe. But the final boss I did first try. Final boss isn't too bad. There is one part on the final boss that I could see being troubling, and I'll get to that when we get to that encounter. But as long as you're taking it slow and taking advantage of those safety spots in the first encounter, you should be fine. The second encounter is going to be a little bit tougher.
The signal that beckons you. If I am interpreting it correctly, it calls out for assistance.
And again, I use Witherhoard, Commemoration, and Funnel Web for the entirety of this mission. I don't switch off of it. The one thing that I do switch is I switch to Devour instead, which in the future I will for sure run Devour over Strand. Ignore my temporary delay there. This is me figuring this out for the first time, so I'm not 100% sure where to go. Alright, so here you'll make your way, and I did die here, so I'm going to do a secret cut right there. Boop! You didn't even notice it, did you? And that jump is a pain in the ass. And so, yep, you're just making your way, taking care. None of the enemies in between are really that threatening. Should be fine there. And so, yeah, here we are at the next encounter. Don't forget the rally banner. That is right there that I just passed, like I did. And then we're gonna have a nice little cut there. So now I have Void. All right. So for this encounter, there's going to be split up into a few different sections. So you're going to first clear out these Vex, and you're going to have to get these. What do they call them? Fragments. You're getting the data. So you're going to kill these goblins that have like their heads come off, and it drops those pink little motes. You want to take those and you want to put them in the conflicts in the middle. So with this, just make sure you proc your Devour and just keep killing, because there's going to be a lot of enemies. And so for the first one, it's 8, and then it's 10, and then when you get to the second phase, it's 10, then 12. So get your 8, and it is timed, but then you do that, and you drop into the hole. Now, for future reference, I would probably recommend not jumping into the hole right away, because you're going to see like wyverns show up and start shooting down on you, and you could potentially die from that. So maybe it'd be best to like kite them away or something. But either way, so after that, you will get to the next part of the actual encounter itself, where you are damaging the Hydra there. And then you'll get the Hydra down to, I guess you call it the checkpoint. And then you're going to rinse and repeat that cycle. So you're going to then collect all those fragments and enter them into the complex again. And then you will do the final damage phase for the boss. So there's only 2 damage phases for this boss fight. In a second here, you're going to see me prioritize the hobgoblins again. Don't get so focused to where everything else shooting you kills you, but you'll see here, collecting more fragments. This time I need 10. And as they spawn, which you'll see right here, I'm going to go ahead and hurry up and take out these goblins, because again, those snipers, they are run killers. So just take those out as fast as you can. That's where my commemoration just kind of melts through everything. And then you're just going to continue that cycle until you get your 10 fragments. Then you're going to repeat it until you get 12. And you're going to do your next damage phase. Which here, and then boop. And then just, yeah, I really liked that side right there that I was at, though enemies can spawn on you. But if you have Devour, you could just keep that proc the whole time, and you should be okay. It may take you a couple times to get it down, but it is, with Devour, it made it a lot easier. And so then again, I'm just keeping the path here so that you know where to go. And then we are almost done. We just have the final boss fight to do. And the boss fight at the end is split into 3 different phases. Has some callbacks to like the beginning part of the mission. I didn't realize I left that in. That's really funny. You can tell how confused I was. Oh, that's awesome. And then be careful with this next part. These little pushers, they killed me way too many times. More than I care to admit. These guys. So you can just crouch under it or whatever. And so I would, yeah, make sure you stay crouched. Sprint when you can, crouch when you can. And then you'll shoot over. And then to not get killed by the pushers, I actually jump up top here. I would recommend doing that, especially if you're going to try to like speed run this, because those pushers can kill you very easily. And I just went, oh, why don't I go over everything? So that made it easier. And to the final encounter we go. Alright, so for this final boss, it is a giant hobgoblin, or whatever the hell it is, and first phase of the boss fight is just damage phase. So just stay alive, do damage, take care of yourself, keep that Devour procced if you're running Devour. Prioritize, I would say, the Minotaurs, and I think, is there Hydras that spawn on this? We'll see. I think it might show it. But what I do is I get an add clear, and then, yeah, there's a Hydra, okay. I add clear, and then I focus damage. That's what I do, and that seemed to work well for me. So then, after you get him down to the first little bit of health that you can knock off, you got to go through this teleporter there, and you get to the second encounter. The second encounter is going to be this whole symbol thing again. So in that triangle in the ground, there is a code that you're going to then shoot into the complex there. And again, same thing, Devour, staying alive, make it a priority. You can shoot 2 of those at once, by the way, if they're different symbols. If they're the same, then you just have to wait. But yeah, if you're quick enough, which there I wasn't. Now, when you actually break all of them, you have a damage phase. And it's a 30-second damage phase before you have to do it again. So I didn't know this, which is why I'm sitting there just like taking my time. But yeah, 30 seconds, and then you have to do the complexes all over again and put in the other code. And so here, I skipped ahead. I'm now damaging the crap out of him. This was my second damage phase. I didn't know that, so I let him have like the super and everything. And then there we were able to get him down to the next little bit. Go through the teleporter, and you're onto the final encounter, which again is just a damage phase. Now, his head comes off. Just like that. And he will chase the heck out of you. So what I did was I just kept bouncing back and forth, left and right, back here. There are going to be these fanatics that will spawn on you, so just be wary of that. But I just kept kind of jumping back and forth and kind of kept kiting them back and forth. And then if fanatics would get in my way, I would just take them out the best I could. Wither Horde works really well here so that you could be damaging while you're running away. I don't know what that is, that white stuff, that Vex milk, and I didn't want to go in it because I'm pretty sure it'd kill me. And then for the fanatics, yeah, I just running away from them. And then I'm lucky here that I didn't die. Just one snipe could have really taken me out. But make sure to get back into this corner here, the one that I run to, and just throw everything that you got at him. Unfortunately, I only have one shot in my commemoration left, or otherwise he would have been melted a lot quicker. See how those fanatics spawn on me? So just keep doing that, and then eventually you will kill them, and then that is the mission done. So then what you want to do at that point is you go collect your reward, and then you'll have to go to the helm, and then you get your exotic at the helm. So I hope this helped you. If you're a solo player, I hope this was a good guide for you. I'm going to do some shameless plug right here. If you guys want to, please subscribe, like, follow me, all that stuff. I go live sometimes. I post videos sometimes trying to help people. So, all right, that's it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.